Welcome back to this edition of Central Valley Business. I'm your host, Lauren Baker, and we are back with Dick Whittington of YARTS, which stands for the Yosemite Area Transportation System, and he's here to tell us all about why you should know more about it. Welcome, Dick.
Thank you. Last year, Yosemite National Park, which is our local gem,
Yes.
experienced a record visitation. They had just over 4.29 million people, almost 4.3 million people.
That is crazy that much people could fit.
6.5% increase last year. And this year, the visitation level in Yosemite is unprecedented. As startling as the 4.3 million people were last year. January they had a 8.5% increase in visitation. In February it was 48.9%. In March it was 47.8%, and in April the preliminary figures indicate that it was at least 22%. And there's a lot going on in the park this year. I don't know if you know this, but this is the 100th anniversary of the National Park Service.
Yes,
so they're having celebrations all year long. The anticipation is that the increase in visitation will continue, and the Park Service is concerned about being able to sustain the quality of visit to the park. And they're not saying don't come. They're saying please consider using alternate transportation.
Yeah, be smarter about it.
Right. If you care about the park, be a good steward of the park, and do your part to care for it. And one of those ways is, of course, to use that alternate transportation to improve the quality of visit, to reduce congestion in the park. And I manage the YARTS bus system, which is the #1 alternative transportation going into the park. And while the message ends up today, I think probably sounding pretty self-serving, if you care about the park, it's going to be important that you do your part to protect it.
Absolutely.
To take good care of it. So anyway, the YARTS has been around for 15 years, and just as an aside, we're 15 years into it without an injury accident on it. YARTS is a public transit bus system. As such, it isn't private enterprise. It doesn't make money, and it's provided to the park from 4 different locations. We come out of Fresno, of course. We've been doing that for about a year. The 15 years we've been doing it from Merced, Mariposa, and Mono County. We come from Mammoth Lakes and Mono County destinations. And about 5 years ago we started running between Sonora and Yosemite Valley. So we have lots of ways to be able to do it. As a matter of fact, this kind of probably doesn't play to your audience as well, but YARTS is a Amtrak throughway provider, which means if you live in Portland, you can buy an Amtrak ticket to Yosemite National Park. The train doesn't go there, but they'll bring you as far as Merced or to Fresno, and you get on our bus on their ticket and ride to the park. If you live in the mountains, you can go on your computer, you can buy an Amtrak ticket from there, from Oakhurst as an example, to San Diego, and you could get on the bus up there, come down to Fresno, get on the train, go from there, all on one ticket. So it's kind of a neat deal.
That is really awesome.
It's a nice connect. Everybody in transit always talks about connectivity, and in Fresno our connectivity is Amtrak, Greyhound, and the airport. We go to the airport, and we recently inked a deal with Greyhound Bus to do something similar to the throughway service that we do for Amtrak, where you could buy a Greyhound ticket from somewhere else and buy it to the park, even though Greyhound doesn't go there. We would provide the final leg of that trip. Inducements for other than the fact that you don't have to deal with traffic or driving in the mountains. Some people are uncomfortable with that. Driving in the weather is an issue. It's economical. It costs from Fresno is $30 round trip for an individual, an adult. Seniors pay about 2/3 of that. Kids pay about 2/3 of that. One adult can take one child with them for free. And if you ride the bus into the park, you do not pay a gate fee at the park. The gate fees during the summer are now $30. So it ends up being a good value in that regard. We have out of Merced, I think there are 8 runs a day. Out of Fresno, there are 6 runs a day in the summer. They diminish in the winter a little bit. And the comfort. The buses are big, comfortable, have restrooms. They're the only, at least they were when we got these new buses, the only public transit system in the country with 3-point seat belts. You know, the belt across your thing. Luckily, we haven't had to use them, but we're glad to offer them. The buses are big. You had I think a photograph of one of the buses there.
Oh, that is nice.
They have understory, which means you can put the big backpacks, luggage. We can take a couple of bicycles under there.
Oh, wow.
The bicycles use up an awful lot of space, so we don't encourage that too much of it. But we can take it, and the luggage in the backpack. Some of the backpacks are as big as the bicycles.
That's very true.
They are, and but anyway, we can take those on and take them under the bus rather than in the bus. And all in all, I've been to Yosemite a lot of times. I do business there, so you would assume that I had. And I have never been on the bus that I didn't see something new. You're not driving, you're sitting up high, the windows are huge, you're relaxed, and you see Yosemite in a completely different way when you get on the bus. Anyway,
so.
I hope, I don't know if we've done our job selling it or not, but we need for people to at least consider using alternative transportation to go to the park. Go to yarts.com. It's that simple, YARTS.com, and check us out and see if it wouldn't work for you. Be a good steward for the park. Take care of your national park, and enjoy yourself more in the process.
Absolutely. Go green or stay home, am I right?
All right,
or not literally stay home, like you can still go. Like, no one's discouraging you from visiting, one of the best places to see in the valley, for sure, but be mindful of it, because you want it to last forever, of course.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being here. It was delightful looking at those pictures and, learning. That makes me want to use it personally, because I don't mind saving money on gas. I mean, if nothing else, save gas money and take this trip up there on the bus. Like, it sounds fun. Like, it could be a fun thing if you go with a group of people, especially. Not just, like, by yourself. Like, just go with a bunch of people. You can fit more people in a bus than a car. So, why not? So, thank you so much for being here, Dick.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course. Thank you for tuning in today on Central Valley Business. Again, I am your host, Lauren Baker, here with Dick Whittington. And we thank you for tuning in, and we'll hope you'll tune in tomorrow at the same time, same place, right here on centralvalley.com.